Starboard rear wing, 200 centimeters squared. It's the thin with the -2, so this gives a positive of 1.7 degrees, where the stock 255 is a 3.7 degrees, and I believe the 330, and you can see this is smooth right here, and this has a little bit of edge, so probably the 330 is maybe a 4 or something, maybe a 4.5, a little bit more than the positive 3.7 degree shim. So today I went ahead and tried this with my regular setup, with the Millennium 1000 front wing, my 115 plus, and I did a 0 degree shim rather than -2. So with this, the -2 degree shim, and then this with 0 will have the same final results. Today it is quite stormy out, and I had a 3.7 meter Hydra Sport and my 159 liter 2005 Starboard formula, which is my dedicated foil board right now. So the first thought was, it's not enough stability. The difference between these two rear wings is substantial with that wing, or with the sail, the Hydra Sport. I really like the Hydra Sport. It has a huge usable range. It's fun. It's plenty stable. It's not really great for racing upwind, and definitely not great for deep downwind reaches. And it's not the best for flying jibes. There's other sails that are just a lot more smooth than the flying jibe. But the Hydra Sport, the cool thing is, it's a really fun all-around sail. And with this rear wing, Millennium 1000 and 115 plus, with the 0 degree shim, so the same as I'm used to, it just was almost unusable in the high wind, where even though this is high wind out there, that would be enough for me to have some fun. And it's surprisingly how big of a difference it is. My max speed today was only 24.6, and I think it was 22 with the original Millennium, and I would go faster with this one just because I could commit to it a little bit more, where it's just unstable with that setup. That combo may work well, oddly, with a bigger sail and more consistent wind. And for example, my Phantom Iris sails and the Sailworks Flyer is so far the most pitch stable sail I've tried. So this rear wing with a Flyer, pretty much any size, or my Phantom sails, my Phantom Iris sails, and I have 3 different sizes, 7.2, 8.2, and 9.4. This rear wing with either of my front wings, my 550, my 800, or my Millennium 1000, may work really well. Where, for example, other sails, like I have a Sailworks NX, and that is a really fun sail. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite sails for foiling, and it's great for slalom, but it's not as pitch stable as the Sailworks Flyer or the Phantom Iris. So this rear wing with my 8.6 NX, I don't think it'd be a very good combo, but with my Phantom or Flyer, this would be a really good combo. So after I tried the first combo, I tried this with the 115 plus and the 550 front wing. I like that a lot more. It was gusty enough, and the sail has big range, but still I was flying most of the time. Still was a little bit off, but it felt good. I was able to get a higher speed, and it felt more stable in the air. And the twitchiness turned into more control, where when I've had that combo with this rear wing, the 550 and the 115 plus, with the -2 shim, which would equal this, I found it kind of, even though it was great at blasting through the chop, it seemed a little bit too much lift, a little bit too much spring with the front wing so far forward. With this, it gave me a little bit more control. So that is kind of a bonus for using this with the 550 front wing. I, after that, tried this with the 115 regular fuselage, and that brings the front wing and back wing just back a little bit, and I like that the most of the 3 combos. It was very stable in the air. I just had to move my back foot a little bit further back to maintain stable flight, and with this -2, there's no stock shims. I could add a shim custom if I wanted to, but as is, it seemed to fly really nicely. I think the fact that it's really stormy, really windy, and really gusty. A lot of my friends are out there having some good time. Some got really good flying jibes, but it seemed like, generally speaking, a lot of guys were, you know, this is the rain that hurt your face and gusty, and it's an intense day, not the best day for, you know, a dream foil session, but really glad I was able to get out today with friends and have some fun. So of these, so first impressions, I think the regular 115 with this, with no shims, is a really good combo. Just move my back foot back a little bit further to level out, and I'm good to go. I'm not sure what this will work with other wings. I don't see this being a really popular rear wing to complement my 800 front wing. because my Millennium 1000 is a little bit more stable on a reach than the 800. After I get about 14 miles an hour of flight speed, the 800 actually has a little bit more lift and a little bit more power, which can make it a little bit more handful on a reach when I'm powered up. So unless I have a really stable sail like the Flyer or the Iris, something I know is really confident and stable, I probably won't use this with the 800 front wing. So probably the Millennium, because it's a little bit more forgiving, and the 550. So Millennium 1000 and 550 rear wing. Yeah, I'd like to try out this rear wing again to see what happens. This is just the first time out, and this is with the Hydra Sport, which is a fun sail. It's a freeride sail, but if I have my Flyer out there, or even my 3.7 meter Sailworks Revo, it could be a completely different experience. And each combo and each sail and different changes things. For example, the 3.7 meter Revo is a little bit more pitch stable and quiet, but it kind of get away with me a little bit. You know, it kind of goes up and down, and I have to kind of correct a little bit more, where the Hydra Sport is more of like little jerks up and down. So the Hydra Sport, like, here's the board, it's kind of like this, and then the Revo is up and down more. So maybe this rear wing with the Revo may be a higher wind combo that might complement each other better, because it just is a little bit more steady, if that makes sense. Where I think the Hydra Sport is technically more pitch stable, but it's a little bit more twitchy, if that makes sense. So it's all about combos. I'm gonna have some fun trying out different setups. The main idea was to use this with 550 and the 115 stocks. I heard that's a really fast combo, and I used that today and it was really good. I can see why people like it. With a little bit more consistent wind and a little less wind and a bigger sail, that could be a really fun, fast setup. But I'll try it with all the different combos, see what happens, and see if there's any secret treasure that this rear wing really just unlocks a really great potential. Another cool thing I'd like this to work well with is the Millennium front wing, which for today, with the sail and the wind, it did not work at all. But the cool thing is, I've never had my Millennium front wing over or hitting 28 miles per hour flight speed. It's only been 27.5 or 27.6. So my thought is, the Millennium is such a universal front wing, maybe if I use this rear wing with the -0 or with the 0 degree shim, or play with the shims, I might have an overall faster setup, and it might work better. Another side note is, this actually did have a little, it seemed, again, with the gustiness and the sail the way it's rigged, I had it for medium to high wind. It seemed to pop up a little easier. There's less resistance. I found that the 330, I thought, with the 115 plus and the Millennium 1000 front wing, that it would have so much better flight, but when I kick down to pump, it actually holds down and resists the nose coming up. So I found, so far, for my bigger sails, this rear wing gets me to flight in less wind than the 330. The 330 has a slower stall speed than the 255, but it's not as efficient, so it gets that slower stall speed faster. So my thought is, you know, it's a balance with everything, but maybe with the right sail and with a bigger sail, you know, 8.0 or bigger, I might be able to really complement this with the Millennium 1000 and have a rockin', fast, great setup. But, you know, wishful thinking. Flying jibes, no flying jibes on this. It's easy to do flying jibes with this 115 plus. So, again, if it's really great, but I can't do fly jibes, I'll probably lean to this for the Millennium 1000. Yeah, so those are my deep thoughts. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments. And if you like this type of content and want more deep reviews and deep thoughts on current foil gear and other wind foiling gear, give me a shout out and let me know in the comments. Cool, thanks. Have a great day.